is Daily Blast Live. We're talking about what you're talking about.
Get real.
No.
This
Just
is
stop.
a sham.
It's finally here. Drum roll. Welcome to DBL. I am Sam in for Jeff, and we got Stephanie Jones. Stephanie Schroeder.
Yes. There was a definite pause. I was like, do you want me to jump in here?
Stephanie Schroeder.
I'm sure Jordan will love that. She'll be like, no.
All right, I'm just thinking of Jeff. We miss you, Jeff.
Do we?
Right.
I'm kidding. We love him.
Tori does not, but we do.
Yeah, we do.
Okay, so we're going to talk about the Swifties because they are sending a message to Kim Kardashian. Fans have flooded Kim's comment section with snake emojis after Taylor recently spoke about the Kanye West scandal. So we all remember Kanye taking the mic from Taylor in 2009 during her VMA speech after she won Best Female Video. Then, fast forward to 2016, Kanye, who was married to Kim at the time, released a song with a line about Taylor and the incident. Kanye said Taylor gave him permission. Kim then released an edited phone call between Taylor and Kanye, which said she proves that Kanye was telling the truth. That was what Kim stated. Now, in the years since, the whole conversation has been released, giving more context. Well, this week, Taylor went on the record saying she was targeted by Kim and Kanye in a quote-unquote fully manufactured frame job. You're both shaking your head, Tori and Steph.
Oh, it was really bad.
Go ahead, hit it.
Absolutely shocking. But need this surprises with Kim Kardashian, the girl that planned her own sex tape with her mother and released it and blamed someone else. I mean, this is small potatoes for Kim Kardashian, isn't it? It doesn't surprise me at all.
I think she's right.
I think so too, and I think that Taylor had her "I'm gonna let you finish" moment, because really that's what this was. It was taking the mic back all these years later, saying this was a setup job, and they reacted as such, in which the armies of each fandom do. Kim's not.
Who has the bigger army?
Swifties.
I think they're more loyal.
Swifties are more loyal, they're more rabid, and a lot of Kim Kardashian fans have switched to Taylor Swift, thinking she's has a stronger moral compass in some respects from some of the stuff. I've always liked Kim.
I shamelessly like the Kardashians. I like Kim a lot. I follow her more for fashion and makeup and things, but for really core beliefs and values, she's not really up there for me, whereas Taylor Swift, I think, stands up on a pedestal for things like that.
Right.
So it's completely different. If we're talking about longevity of character, Taylor.
Yeah. Like Kim doesn't seem like she pushes the, morality or like ways to live your life. It seems like Taylor is more that
I
lane
think she's
anyway.
more of a stand-up character and sticks to what she says.
Although I will say, and I'm not one to be like, I'm defending Kim Kardashian.
Right, but you
because I
can.
love Taylor Swift. But I will say, Kim, in the past 5 to 10 years, yes, she could do more, but this is someone who did, even though she has all the money in the world, go get her law degree, right, past the baby bar, and is working diligently to free innocent men and women from prison who are wrongfully incarcerated. So I just want to make sure that
That's
we
a great
remember that.
point.
That is somebody
I think
that's putting
she's
in the work.
aging and, she's transforming and she's, moving on up in the moral ways of the
and
world.
maybe the morality comes after Kanye, because things seem to have done better for her maybe after.
I would say I do think Kanye was probably a really big influence over her, and she said how controlling he was, down to what she wore, what she did, how she portrayed herself. So
might have been some influence there.
Right.
yes.
All right, interesting. Okay, so Charlie Sheen, you guys, he's back. He's calling his return to TV surreal. So in 2011, Charlie was fired from 2.5 Men after publicly feuding with the show's creator, Chuck Lorre. He also showed some pretty bizarre behavior, if you guys remember, when asked about his drug use. You probably will remember this.
Tell me about the last time you took drugs.
The last time I took drugs, I probably took more than anybody could survive.
What are we talking about? How much?
I don't know, man. I was banging 7-gram rocks and finishing them because that's how I roll. I have one speed. I have one gear. Go.
How do you survive that?
Because I'm me. Because I'm me. I'm different. I just have a different constitution. I have a different brain. I have a different heart. I have a different, I get tiger blood, man.
I remember that. Charlie is now talking about his sobriety, saying he is 6 years sober. Good for him, because he has a predictable routine. He's even back working with Chuck on a new show after Chuck reached out and said it was time to bury the hatchet. And I've seen the first few episodes of this new show. I know that's your homie right there.
Yeah, my boy Omar.
He's
shout
hilarious.
Out. That's my
shout
dude.
out to your dude, because
I've known Omar for years.
Kills it.
Good for him.
And Charlie Sheen is not from what I've seen so far, he's the guest star in one of the episodes.
And he plays himself,
He
right?
plays himself, and he's excellent.
Yeah, he's a good little actor.
Great actor.
Yeah, I want to tell you guys a story really quick. One morning, he was too drunk to drive his daughter. This is about 6 years ago. He was too drunk to drive his daughter to an appointment, and he had promised to take her, promised. So he had to get a friend to take him in the car. And in the car, he looked over and he noticed his daughter smelling him, wondering, why isn't Dad driving me? And at that moment, he said, the next day, he quit drinking cold turkey.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
That's an amazing story, and I know you have plenty to say, but I thought that was brilliant.
No, I mean, mine was similar. You know, I just, you know, it wasn't about driving. I was just in town, and it was just like I was drinking. I was like, why? I'm going to go see my kids tomorrow. Like, why? It just like it all kind of starts to make sense, and you start to realize that all the partying and the people that go around it and the glamour and the glitz and some of the fame, they way more famous than I'll ever be. But it doesn't matter at all when your kid is looking at you like, what's up? I have a couple of friends that stopped drinking because they embarrass themselves in front of their kids. It's weird. It's not their spouse. It's not their boss.
Children.
He went after Chuck Lorre, arguably the most powerful person in show business at that time, publicly. But all it takes is a look from your daughter to be like, oh, we got to clean this up.
That's exactly what it takes.
Look from the daughter.
Exactly that.
I think everyone's rock bottom is going to be different. I'm glad that this was his rock bottom. I also think you think about all the years that he missed out, whether it be on relationships with women that he loved, that maybe could have had a longer relationship with, or his children, or even his work. I mean, this is a very talented actor, and alcohol robbed him of so much. So kudos to Charlie Sheen, 6 years sober. That is a remarkable feat.
Big deal.
Yeah.
Okay, so some might call it reinventing yourself, but Martha Stewart calls it evolving. The self-made billionaire who turned 82 this year says she likes to evolve and doesn't want to be, quote unquote, an old-fashioned old lady. She says she knows her limits but likes to push those limits in every way possible. Okay. You're shaking your head, Steph. What do you think?
If I don't look like Joan Rivers, I don't want to know. You will not. I'm going to be so tight, my face is going to be like a
You can bounce a
newborn
quarter.
baby. I am serious.
Oh,
and I say that to Roche, my fiance, all the time. He's like, no, you won't. No, darling, let's be honest.
More plastic than Tupperware.
I will. I will not say yes on that.
What-
This is
what
going
is
to be
the
a stipulation
mentality?
later on.
I was going to ask you, Steph, what is the mentality behind that? Instead of just kind of like the figure of speech, aging gracefully. Why? Because I can understand both lanes.
Probably extremely, I don't like using the word narcissistic, but maybe it's more, you know, I've always worked in this industry.
Yeah, you're into visual imagery.
Yes, and my mum was a model growing up as well, so maybe I'm just so used to it that what seems very normal is definitely not. But also, I've just got no shame. But I think, like, if you're going to do it, don't lie and hide about it. So
Be open and transparent.
You know,
That's what I loved about Joan Rivers. I'm glad you said Joan Rivers because she's
Oh,
the
I
one
loved her.
person that owned it. She would get a body facelift, a face, her neck, everything, so it all went together.
yeah.
So
Remember, more plastic than
I can't have
Tupperware.
children, you guys, because I've got to save for my later retirement. Which will be the reinvention of myself.
The difference between Steph and Joan Rivers is I feel like now the generations that are growing up, there's a lot of older women. People aren't staring into grandma age at 40.
Remember
which
the
used to be
Golden
like
Girls?
once you got married and had 1 or 2 kids, you need to put on that wool sweater and just
cut your
start
hair.
knitting. And now when you go out, if you're in a restaurant past 9:30, you see 65-year-olds in there dressed nice,
As they
maybe
should.
on a date.
Yeah,
and I don't think that was really a thing in the 60s and 70s.
I think you're right. But I will say there is something to me about, like, I can't wait to have silver gray hair
Yes.
and cut it short, but
Gorgeous.
in a very posh way. Like,
Right.
let me give you an
Gorgeous.
example.
Okay, let's see.
So not so much
Blanche.
Blanche.
Okay.
More Miranda Priestley.
See, this is
like,
Sheen.
I can't wait for that.
That's a really
I can't wait to show
I say
up.
Joan Rivers, but look at that jawline.
Oh.
I mean, look at
Yeah,
that
she's-
jawline.
she's
Look at that hairstyle.
But let's
It
also-
is beautiful.
Let's also remember that inventing and reinventing yourself isn't always just looks. Because for me, I'm becoming an 80-year-old now. I'm cross-stitching in front of a fireplace listening to Frank Sinatra. So what I need to do is make sure that my insides get out and do things
You
and try
do
new
get out and
things.
do things. You say this a lot, but you do get out and do things.
I feel like I need to not become an 80-year-old at 41.
You get out way more
you're
than
doing
most
Pilates.
people.
You're being really
Yeah.
active.
Okay.
You
All
go
right.
out to dinner. You go out to your crossword puzzle nights.
Oh my
Hey,
God,
whatever
that's
floats your boat.
hurting your argument.
Crossword
crossword puzzle nights. I'm sorry.
Trivia
Trivia
night.
night.
Thank you.
And it is at a bar.
Whatever floats your boat is
I go to a
okay
bar to
for
do
it.
things that people are usually doing at home. That's how I entertain
And I
myself.
don't win.
Yeah,
and I
good-
don't
I mean,
win.
look,
But I
good
think
for
you
you.
just want to keep the insights are just as important.
You're
is
right.
What I mean.
You're right. But you're doing it, Tori. I'm
Thank
proud
you.
of you.
Thank you.
You are.
For doing a crossword puzzle?
No, she gets out more than she gives herself credit to,
I
and I'm proud of her.
appreciate
She doesn't?
I
Yes,
think I
she
do, Al.
does.
I think
Yes,
I
she
do.
does. Coming up on DBL. We are chatting with Food Network star Michael Simon. What was it like working with Selena Gomez in the kitchen? What? And does Brandy have beef with a former co-star? Erica is breaking it down in her segment, What's Erica Watching?
Rolling.
Do you guys want to know something?
But it could be a question.
Right.
What is Erica watching?
What is Erica? What's Erica watching? No, it's not. It's what Erica's.
It's a declarative. What's
This is what Erica's watching. It's not a question, actually.
And if there's a lull, do it in real time.
It could be what's Erica watching. Anyway.
Are you, Tori, let me ask you this. Are you really worried about turning into an 80-year-old? Because I feel like that's what you like doing. Thank you. And so, like, why wouldn't you just steer into...
So the other day we were watching something on TV. Brooks was doing paint by numbers and I was cross-stitching. And I had cooked dinner and we had fun, we had a pleasant time. But it just makes me think I'm already in the retirement home a little.
Yes.
And I don't want to age. We really like that. We like the cozy.
But that's
We like that.
okay.
But I just want to make sure I'm doing things outside my comfort zone. You know what I mean?
Because a couple years ago, you were. This may have been before the pandemic because we were all home during the pandemic. But before that, you were very much. I'm not talking about season one, but there's a little lull after season one where we were all going out way too much. Where you definitely were more homebody.
Okay.
And I've seen this balance with you now, where you are nurturing your.
Okay.
You love to nest.
Yeah.
And that's totally great. That's how I am.
Right.
But you're also doing things, and I'm proud of you.
Okay.
I feel like I should be doing something, to be honest, more creative and having a more creative outlet. And there's like,
That's a cross-stitch.
What would you like to do?
to be honest,
Springs to
I
mind.
keep thinking of Destiny doesn't want me to do it clearly. She's like, I want to do like some kind of podcast or some
I
kind
do
of.
want you to do that.
I know, but I also and then I get stuck. I'm really stuck. So I started
should
reading a
come on
book
our podcast.
called The Science of Stuck.
Need a third mic.
Yeah. No, I ordered
But it's called The Science of Stuck, The Power of Inertia. And they said this, there's something you're getting from being stuck. There's a positive you're gaining.
Well, it's comfortable.
Yeah. And I'm not reaching out. Yeah, maybe you're right.
Welcome back. Why did Brandy clap back at one of her TV moms? And what's the Queen of Christmas up to when she's not slaying? Plus, more news from Ashanti and Nelly in this week's What Erica's Watching. Anyone who watches DBL knows by now that the 90s sitcom Thea introduced us to one of my faves, singer Brandy. Well, for those who watch Thea, this reminds me of some shade Thea threw at Brandy right before her 2020 Versus battle with Monica. Although Monica and Brandy squashed their long-rumored beef, the two queens coming together dug up some other bones. Well, Thea, who played Brandy's mom, posted that she was Team Monica because Brandy was disrespectful on her set back in the day. Well, Brandy responded by saying Thea was just a little bit bitter because she hadn't seen her do much since the 90s. Regardless of all the beef, thank you, Thea, for introducing us all to Brandy and for being so iconic in the 90s. Next, if you ever wondered what the Queen of Christmas, Mariah Carey, is up to when she's not helping Santa spread holiday cheer, she confesses that it's likely bathing. Plus, she also shared her secret to the perfect bath. Not too many bubbles, orange or lavender bath salts, and make sure your phone is within reach. Oh, and don't forget a flute of champagne, darling. Mimi says although it's nice when people want to run a bath for her, that's where things can go wrong. But for some reason, I imagine the Hala Diva having royal bathers like Prince Akeem in Coming to America. And finally, I've had my eye on Nelly and Ashanti since they sparked back up their R&B romance. First, it was their lavish birthday celebrations, and now they're celebrating news that they are having a baby. Congratulations, Queen. Share with me anything that catches your eye by using the hashtag DBLEricaWatch. We'll be right back.
I gotta impress some boys. I got some of my favorite chefs cooking up their favorite holiday dishes right here in my kitchen.
How cute is she? Welcome back. That was a look at the new season of Selena and Chef, featuring Iron Chef and Food Network host Michael Simon. Earlier, we spoke with him all about what's been cooking in Selena's kitchen. Take a look. I would like to know, you cook with Selena Gomez, and I love the show on the new season of Selena and Chef. I wanted to know, how is Selena at cooking, and are there any bad habits you've had to break her from doing?
Well, first of all, the wonderful thing about doing it in her house and with her and her grandparents were there and friends is she is as lovely as a human as everyone thinks she is. What a special person. So for me, it was incredibly enjoyable to do that. You know, I grew up with a Greek Sicilian mother, so my whole life was around food and watching people come to the table, and my grandparents and my parents cooking for them. And so, you know, she is, I think, very comfortable. She didn't have a lot of bad habits, and her greatest asset, I think, is she truly wants to learn, you know, so she's not afraid to do things. A couple things like breaking down the lobster, she got a little freaked out, but then she dove in.
It's an antenna. The antenna are kind of freaky, a little.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah. Always beware of the antenna. That's, you know, life's greatest lesson.
My darling, the new season is all based around holiday cooking, and I've got something in my mind, but I'm going to see if we're on the same wavelength here. What's something that people should stop making for the holidays?
I think a couple things. One of them is Jell-O salad. I don't understand how that falls into the category of salad. I just find it slightly repulsive.
No. Oh my gosh, my expectations have just got even lower.
Just also that ambrosia salad grosses me out completely, and any kind of casserole that is made with canned soup.
Ooh.
Oh dear.
So what's your worst? Okay.
The thing that freaks me
Yeah.
out, since I've lived in America, this freaks me out. You guys put marshmallows on sweet potatoes. I'm horrified. I'm horrified.
You're right. You should be horrified. Why are you putting something sweet on something that's already sweet?
I'll be honest,
I don't
darling.
understand it either.
I'll be honest, Britain's not known for its fine cuisine all that much, but even I've got a problem with some of it here.
You know what, though? The food in London has gotten so much better over the past 20 years. It's incredible.
Our
Like, I mean,
fish
the
and chips
Indian
and gravy
food's always
puts
been
most to
great.
shame.
Yeah, but I mean, you got Marco Pierre really changed things there, and then it continues to grow. It's a great food scene.
Thank you.
I'm anxious to ask you this next question because, you know, when I was a little kid growing up, you know, there's certain things where you're like, that's what rich people do. So, like, surf and turf is like just what I thought rich people
is that
did.
right?
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that was like my big marker for if you had money. I was like, they got surf and turf. You know, it was like a big deal.
Yeah.
So, you know, you focus on surf and turf with Selena, which everybody loves, obviously. But are there any new food combos that people should try?
Well, you know, I think too, like just surf and turf in general. I mean, I grew up. My grandfather was a pipe fitter. My dad worked at Ford, so I grew up with very humble, rustic, homey food, which is kind of the backbone of even how I run my restaurants. Is I love cooking that style of food. But so surf and turf for me as a kid was very bougie, and I like to make it sometimes as an adult. But sometimes you could think outside the box where it doesn't cost an arm and a leg, like pork and shrimp would be surf and turf and is incredibly common within like Asian cuisine. So, like even if you did like a pork tenderloin with some sauteed shrimp and ginger and cilantro and chilies and things of that nature, you could get a surf and turf on the table for, a lot less expensive than prime beef and lobster.
That's clever. Very clever.
Another great tip is like what we did with Selena and Chef is we put the lobster in with a pasta. So that way, pasta isn't expensive to make. So you have the pasta, which is inexpensive, and you could stud it with lobster as opposed to giving everybody a half a lobster, a whole lobster. One lobster could then feed 4 to 6 people.
Wow.
That is
Michael, thank you so much for joining us today. We hope we have you back. DBL Nation, don't miss Michael on Selena and Chef Home for the Holidays Thursdays on Food Network and streaming on Max. And be sure to pick up his book, Simply Simon Suppers, available now. Thank you so much, Michael. Happy holidays. We'll be right back. Thank you.
Have a great holiday, guys.
All right,
Thank
bro.
you.
Welcome back. It's the holidays, and for some of us, that means overeating. And if you've got joint pain or even arthritis, there are certain foods you may want to ease up on this season. It's time for some joint and muscle support brought to you by Omega XL. First up, refined sugars can actually aggravate symptoms for arthritis and joint pain. And the same can be said for foods with a lot of sodium or foods that are highly processed. And if you are cooking, avoid using oils like corn or safflower. Use olive oil instead. Omega XL has improved the lives of millions of consumers, supported by 30 years of clinical research. Omega XL's powerful and proven benefits have transformed the lives of athletes, celebrities, and dedicated daily users. So call 800-814-6985 or visit OmegaXL.com for more information. Okay, you guys, what will be the color of 2024? Huh?
Brick red.
You think brick red?
Burnt sienna.
Okay.
Orange.
Ooh, okay. Tangerine. It's peach fuzz, everybody. Peach
Lovely.
fuzz.
I actually think that's lovely.
Yeah,
I
that's
do too.
nice.
They say the color brings a feeling of tenderness and a message of caring and sharing.
Well, speaking of color, we wanted to go back to your Miranda Priestly because we wanted to see what you would look like as Miranda Priestly. Ladies and gentlemen,
The future.
Samantha Priestly.
Oh my gosh, I
You
love
look
it.
amazing, Sam.
Wow,
You look
I can't
good.
wait.
You look good.
I just really envision myself like volunteering at Sophie's my grandkid's school one day, showing up like that.
I
like
love
here
it.
comes Sam, and I'm in a suit and the white hair and a big bold necklace.
Oh,
That sounds
Sophie be
good.
out of school by then?
I said her kid. You
she said her
hear that
grandkid.
part.
You need to listen
Oh
out.
my gosh, she doesn't listen, everybody. DBL's new every day. We'll be back Monday, same time, same place. Have a great weekend. Bye, guys.
You look good, Sam.
I like
That suits you.
I didn't
Very
like
good.
it. It was
Very
too big.
boss.
The hair was too big.
It was an
You want to
absolutely
be showing your
You
face.
need volume.
Yeah, if it's that